We're here back in the Fantasy Bar, 6th place for you on Yahoo for week 11, including 4 guys under $25 to help make life easy for you. Some of my favorite correlation plays, some guys I think are too cheap, and of course, my favorite play of the week. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Week 11 edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Good to be back here once again in the Fantasy Bar talking some Yahoo and 6 of my favorite plays. Before we get into that, let's do a few housekeeping items. First of all, as always, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that. That is the tip jar here in the Fantasy Bar. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos are coming out. Also have a special offer for you guys over on Yahoo with some free money to use in your Yahoo contest. So click the link below for more details on that. And lastly, go and check out scoresandodds.com/beer, another link down there for you to explore all of your sports betting needs in one place. Information, trends, history, the ability to compare odds across all different sports books, and premium picks from all of your favorite RotoGrinders personalities, myself included, giving you some of my favorite bets each and every week over there. Go and check it out today. scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's get into week 11 here on Yahoo. Looks like a fun slate of games. Let's start at the running back position. A guy I think's in a good spot, a little bit too cheap. That's Myles Gaskin, just $18. Now, I get it. Myles Gaskin, the production been absolutely horrific. You guys all out there could probably average more yards per carry than what Gaskin has drummed up over the last couple weeks. But we have to look at this workload. This guy's averaging a workhorse like 20.5 touches per game for this Miami offense over the last 2 games, and very involved in the passing game here as well. We're talking about 5 or more targets now in 6 games already this season. We know Miami going to be without Devonta Parker, Will Fuller. So the target tree pretty limited there with Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki. Yes, you have Albert Wilson, guys like that back in the lineup. But the point being, Myles Gaskin not only going to be used on the ground, should be used a lot through the air as well. And does it get any better than a matchup with these New York Jets if you're a running back? No, it does not. Most fantasy points allowed by far. It's not even close. And already given up 17 rushing touchdowns. We're only in week 11. The Jets on pace for about 30 rushing touchdowns allowed. I think Myles Gaskin adds to that total here. As frustrating as it's been, let's get him in those lineups this week at just $18. All right, let's go to the wide receiver position. Guy thinks in a great bounce back spot this week. That's A.J. Brown of the Titans, $23. Now, big-time disappointment last week in that game against New Orleans. Basically did nothing in that game. I think he bounces back in a big way here against Houston, a team he has obviously loved to play against here early on in his career. In fact, 4 career games against this team, he has scored in every single one of those games. 5 total touchdowns against the Houston Texans, with over 100 yards in 3 of those 4 games. And we know this Houston defense absolutely atrocious. In fact, over the last 4 weeks, only one team worse against wide receivers. 2nd most fantasy points allowed over that stretch here. I think Brown bounces back in a big way here against the Houston Texans. All right, let's go to the tight end position. A lot of premium tight ends. Too easy. We want to go down a little bit deeper. We're going to roll with Cole Kmet of Chicago, $15. Now, I get it. Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, Andrews, those guys are very productive, probably very good choices for your daily fantasy lineups. But let's get a little bit different here with Cole Kmet. Now, we're coming off a bye here, but before that, we saw season highs in catches, targets, and receiving yards against a much better defense than what he's going to see this week with the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, they're solid, but Pittsburgh, one of the elite defenses we have in the NFL. Baltimore has really struggled with tight ends this season as well. So 3rd most fantasy points allowed to this position. And I spoke about this game over on my FanDuel DraftKings 6-pack. Make sure you guys are checking that out as well. But I really think we could get more of a shootout here than this 45-point total indicates. So Cole Kmet, not the sexiest name, not the easy name here at tight end, but a guy I think could be very productive here in this matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. All right, we like Cole Kmet. Hell, let's pair him up with his quarterback. That's right, Justin Fields, just $21. Now, Fields certainly one of those guys you don't have to pair up. I love the rushing upside that he gives you. I love the way he's playing lately. But why not knock out the tight end with this stack? A cheap $36 stack is really going to allow you to go any direction with the rest of your lineup. So Fields a guy I like in all formats with or without Kmet. Really does not matter to me. And the recent production, once again, been really what I'm highlighting here. And the price has not had a chance to catch up to what this young man has been doing. We're talking a lot of rushing yards, 38 or more in 4 straight. So you're getting basically almost 4 points to start out the game here. We saw him go over 100 rushing yards against San Francisco, and Baltimore not been great against quarterbacks either. In fact, 10th most fantasy points allowed and 3rd most passing yards allowed. I think you're going to see this team be a little bit more aggressive here with Justin Fields. Montgomery is back. That's certainly going to help open some things up, and his rushing ability gives us a nice ceiling in tournaments. $21 is simply too cheap for Justin Fields. All right, speaking of too cheap, let's go back to the running back position. We're rolling with Dalvin Cook of Minnesota, just $27. I was absolutely shocked by this price point. In fact, first time all season he's been under $30, and we're getting him all the way down at $27 here on Yahoo. Let's take advantage of it in this game against the Green Bay Packers. Now, we have not seen the massive game out of Dalvin Cook yet. I think it's only a matter of time before we get that 30, 35-point game, and it could certainly come here this week against Green Bay. Now, the Packers defense been playing extremely well this season. I still think they're playing a little bit over their heads, and some of the teams they've played recently, the rushing games, leave a lot to be desired here. I think Minnesota is going to want to keep Aaron Rodgers and company on the sidelines here. I don't know if they're going to succeed in that or not. What I do know is Dalvin Cook is going to get the ball a ton, both on the ground and through the air, and a little bit of history on his side here as well. Absolutely dominated Green Bay, over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns against them in 2 games last season. Simply put, Dalvin Cook, way too cheap here on Yahoo at just $27. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Week 11 on Yahoo. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Week contest, free to play. This is a thank you to you guys for hanging out, checking out the videos, hitting that thumbs up button. All you got to do is get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points for my favorite play on Yahoo for Week 11. The closest guess is going to win themselves a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. That's right. We'll send it right to you. Best, softest, most luxurious t-shirt you will ever wear. I promise you that. So without further ado, let's take a look at my favorite play for Week 11 on Yahoo. You know I'm asked, the Beast of the Week. All right, Beast, time we owe you one more wide receiver. We're going to go a little correlation here as well. We're going to the other side of that Minnesota Green Bay game. We're going with Devonta Adams, $35, this week's Beast of the Week. I absolutely love this spot here for Devonta Adams. You pair him up with Dalvin Cook, can still do some other stacks in your lineup here, but we have a very close spread in this game. We have a high total in this game. So Vegas expecting a very competitive game here, and I am as well. Now, same thing as Dalvin Cook. We haven't seen the massive game out of Adams in a while. He had that one blow-up game, but lately the numbers have been so-so. Haven't been terrible, but have not been at an elite level. But what has been elite, 25 targets over the last 2 games. Also have news that Allen Lazard may not play in this game. Not that he's done a lot. Plus, I think a lot of people are going to roll with A.J. Dillon in the spot. I don't blame them for that, but we can get a little leverage on the field here with Devonta Adams. And just like Dalvin Cook, you guessed it, Devonta Adams absolutely tore up this Minnesota team last season. 5 touchdowns over 2 games. A ton of catches in those games as well. And I think he does it once again here this week. Devonta Adams, easily my favorite play on the board in this week's Beast of the Week. All right, guys, that'll do it for Week 11 in the Fantasy Bar here, talking some Yahoo. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points for Devonta Adams here on Yahoo for your shot at a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. And don't forget to check out scoresandodds.com/beer for all your sports betting needs. Also, that link below for that special deal on Yahoo. Make sure you're checking that out as well. Doing it big once again on Yahoo, giving away free money in that baller contest. Take advantage here this week. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck here on Yahoo. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist